Back in 2020, during a podcast with Mike Tyson, Joe Rogan's life flashed before his eyes.
What's wrong with you? Yeah.
On a later podcast with Snoop Dogg, Rogan claims that his encounter with Tyson was what led him to getting a wider table.
The reason why this table's this wide, I had Mike on one time. And
Joe says that Tyson was more chilled up during the first podcast because he wasn't training.
Great conversation. It was real fun.
Are you familiar with the toad?
Yeah, what you're talking about is 5-methoxy
Oh, that's it right there, yeah.
Yeah. And then he came back on again, promote.
Joe explains that during the second podcast, Mike was training for a huge fight.
He was ready to go. Like, you could see the element that made him Mike Tyson in his prime had been like reignited, whatever it was. I'm like, no, I need a wider table. I was nervous in the room with him. Like, you could tell he's ready to go. I don't give a fuck if he's 55.
And now finally, what you've been waiting for. This podcast started okay enough, but it's clear that Joe wasn't taking the conversation as seriously as Tyson.
I did that video and I was in bed for a week. That was 30 seconds and I was in bed for a week. And it's not funny because it made me realize that this is big boy shit, okay?
Big boy shit.
This big boy shit. You was
There
out,
it is right there.
Yeah, that wasn't really cool.
During moments like these, we can see the tension starting to ramp up, with Tyson calling Joe out for laughing. But what comes next is Tyson's true Sigma moment.
That's a strange thing to say.
Well, that's just what I want. I wanted to find out because you're really bright, and I thought you would figure it. No, I'm being very serious.
No, I know. I know you're being serious, but I mean, no one will understand that other than you.
Understandably, Joe tries to ease the tension by glazing him up.
The way you drive yourself, the way you push yourself, the way you put yourself into that frame of mind, no one's going to understand that other than you.
If it ever needed to be said, don't fuck with Mike Tyson, even if he's trying to talk to you about his boxing boner.